Respect. Now, you genuine love, respect paid. I should appreciate your time to the genuine ones only. Have a good day and protect your energy. Have a safe week. You know, when you're a child of God, you don't gotta fake gas like nobody at the end of the day. When God's in tune with you to come become your best self vision of yourself, regardless what trauma was instilled within you from a child point of view, going into your adulthood, being sexually assaulted, dealing with violence, dealing with sickness. You put a name to your book. But when God allows you to overcome and become your best self vision of yourself without wearing a mask at your gym, you're at peace with yourself, that God got your back to better days ahead. They don't understand how God is working within your favor at the end of the day. It's not meant for them to understand. That bond you have with God is so protected, and it would never be able to understand and get between it. And I say that respectfully. You know, God is not against you. And when you tune into God to understand the assignment what God has in store for you, you could understand yourself a lot more better. And I say this respectfully because sometimes in life we can't go to our guardians, or we don't feel comfortable going to a therapist or a counselor, or we don't feel comfortable talking to certain individuals because the outcome as to what they're going to say is something that not just what you don't want to hear. They don't have the right answers at the end of the day. Let alone they don't have the right answers, they don't want to be bothered with you. And I say that respectfully because they brush you off in a way that you look at them like saying to yourself is, how you my guardian, or how you supposed to be somebody I'm supposed to trust and I can't even confide in at the end of the day. It's the mindset for me. You know, this is a real big topic. You know, you don't have to have a degree to talk about certain things, and I feel like that's bullcrap. Because at the end of the day, a person with a degree and a person without a degree, the person without a degree has more knowledge than a person with a degree. It's the mindset for me. You know, being a cutter, it's not easy. And if you're someone that's experiencing being a cutter, you know, and you're getting pushed away from your family, or you don't know who to confide in, you don't know who to trust, and get in tune with all they telling you to do is go to urgent care, or they telling you to go read a book about why you're doing what you're doing, and you don't even understand it, with an understanding why nobody's understanding that this is something serious. You know, understand the assignment within the assignment that pain is something difficult to understand. And because you don't have no one to confide in, let alone trust and understand what's going on with them, because you don't know how to express yourself, the only way you know how to express yourself is becoming a cutter. It's not right, because all you're doing is hurting yourself in the long run, and you're marking your body up. You know, when you have those individuals around you that allow you to feel that you're unworthy of yourself, or you have those individuals that brush you off or make you feel like, you know what, why not even bother trying to have a conversation with you anyway type of energy, it makes you feel like you're in your own little world. Now that you're in your own little world, you're trying to escape your own world, if that makes sense. Because you're trying to feel like you're putting yourself in a situation where when your thoughts start to become less of a thought, a less of a thought starts to be a trigger, and you become a cutter. Because now you don't want to feel the pain, if that makes any sense. Because if you're a cutter, this is what you're experiencing, because you don't want to feel the pain. So a less of a thought content, you're eliminated it, and this is why you cut yourself, so you don't have to deal with what you're going through. It's not right, but this is your escape. And because this is your escape, and you don't know how to express yourself other than cutting yourself, and you're tired of putting on a front in front of other people, and at some point in time you don't care anymore, because it starts to show when you're really deep in, when you start to cut yourself. And I'm gonna be honest with you, no prescription pill, no diagnosis as to their mindset will be able to help you. And I say this respectfully, dosing you up on medication ain't gonna help you. Finding the proper source, someone that's not going to go against you and genuinely understand you, where you're coming from. Because they say sometimes when you have certain conversations with people, they be like, I can't understand what you're trying to, why you're going through what you're going through. Sometimes in life, it's not meant for someone to understand why you're doing what you're doing. But when you come across the right person, they can come to a common ground with you to be on the same page as you when it comes to certain topics, and especially one of those type of topics when it comes to pain, when it comes to trauma. You know, feeling alone and you have a lot of people around you, regardless if you're a celebrity or not, don't matter how much money you got at the end of the day, this is what happens in life. This is what people do. Not all, but some. They don't have an outlet. They don't have an escape. And the only way they feel like to make them feel better is cutting themselves. It's not that they're looking for attention. This is where people got the game all messed up. They're not looking for attention when they cut themselves. They don't know how to deal with the pain that's being all built up that they held in for so long. Holding in pain from maybe a child point of view, going into your adulthood, you know how overwhelming that can be after a while? You start to express yourself in a most unhealthy way. When you're trying to find balance within, to find the common ground, to find peace within, but it's so hard to find peace. And it's hard to fake gaslight yourself, but for so long. But because you want to become your best self version of yourself, you don't know the proper steps. Regardless to how much money you have, how much money somebody's giving you, what somebody does for you today, tomorrow, it's still, you're still gonna feel the same way. That moment is just the moment. Because when you are all alone and your pain, that's all you feel is your pain. When everybody's gone and when everybody's away, nobody's around you, you're drifting into your pain again. Or you could even just be around, you could be around a lot of people and you start to drift into your pain. And you don't like to feel like that. I'm gonna be real with you. Depression, anxiety, a little pain prescription gonna be able to help that. Because at the end of the day, that's all you're gonna need to do. Keep up and maintain it every single day for the rest of your life. Who wants to take a pain prescription pill and be labeled with a diagnosis at the end of the day, when you need just to find the proper balance within you to be at peace with yourself? And to do that is to come across the right person, to heal mentally, physically, spiritually, on a healthy vibrational level. And I say that respectfully. Like I said, this page is not for everybody. But you know, being a cutter is something that you can get help for. And going into the wrong hands is something that you're not going to be able to get the right help for. And I say that respectfully. Sitting in multiple doctors' faces or sitting in different counselors' faces at the end of the day, it hasn't resolved anything for you. And especially when you tried, you haven't came across the right healing person that came into your life yet. Because everybody it didn't make sense to you. And the reason why it didn't make sense to you, because they wasn't for you. But God got you to better days ahead. Be patient with your process. Healing is coming. Because when you're choosing your best self version of yourself, God got you. Just because they gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because they overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. And you have to be treated with respect 365 days with no malicious intention of being harm to yourself and others around you. Never allow the enemy or hate disguise or person with intentions like just don't pass over your freedom, because you are worthy and you matter. God didn't install within you to give up. God did not install within you to live and feel, be discouraged. God installed patience within you so you can show up and become your best self version of yourself to elevate. Because God chose you to see another day for a reason. And God was patient with you. I so appreciate your time to the genuine ones only. Have a safe day and have a safe week. Protect your energy, because not every time. Night in your love, respect. Love yourself, regardless, protect every direction. Have a good day.